What is going on, brothers? What is going on? It is your dude, Mr. International Passport, here, here again for another Future Classic live stream. Um, First and foremost, press a one if you can hear me loud and clear. Just got finished preparing for my Python class later on this week. I'm definitely enjoying teaching Python to brothers. So if you're interested in that, make sure you join my Python course. Will come up for new students in the next 3 months to a couple weeks. Okay. Aside from that, can you hear me loud and clear? How's my audio, Doc? Am I good?
Oh, you can. I can hear you.
Awesome. So our guests can hear me. Can you guys hear me in the live stream chat? Press the one, please. Who's here? Who's here? Just gonna make sure I'm good across the board. I'm checking all my systems here. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Baseball Clips. Looks like I'm good. Awesome. Awesome. So aside from that, welcome, brothers, to another classic stream. Before we start, please like the video, like the stream. That's very important. Support the channel by hitting the super chats and PayPal donation. If you like what I do, any support will be greatly appreciated. Aside from that, please join the Patreon for intel on stocks, crypto, and foreign women. If you're on the Patreon, you know there's a particular stock that I spoke about that's doing very well. All that intel is on the Patreon. Aside from that, cop the merch too and book your IT consultation with me for IT guidance and how to get into IT. Like I mentioned, I teach Python. I'll be taking in new people very soon, okay? So I can teach you brothers Python, man. It's going well so far. Had a great time preparing for class today and teaching brothers later on in the weekend. So let's get straight into it, man. I've got a very special guest here called Mr. Doc, who's going to break down Tanzania, business in Tanzania, life in Tanzania, and maybe women, if he wants to speak about that, it's up to him. But Doc, how you doing, bro?
I'm good. I'm good.
Awesome, bro. So, Doc, give us a brief intro about who you are, where you're from, and anything interesting about you, bro.
I My name is Mikhail, but people call me Doc. I'm from Detroit in the U.S. and I'm a physical therapist by profession. So I own some clinics here in the U.S. But I also own a vacation. Well, it's not a resort. It's more like a vacation retreat in Zanzibar, on the island of Zanzibar, which is inside of the country of Tanzania, East Africa.
Awesome, bro. I want to say congrats on your success to business in America, not only in America,
Thank
but
you.
also in Africa as well. We definitely want to get more brothers out there in Africa to do business there, and I'm sure you can help with that advice and tips there. So, how about we start, bro, with your life in the US, right? I'd like to know before you even thought about setting up shop in Tanzania, what was your life like in the US, right? Were you satisfied? Were you getting frustrated there? Can you break down the life of Doc in the US?
Pretty much like most African Americans, it was pretty typical, but slightly different in that I was fortunate enough at 18. I went to Senegal, West Africa, for about 3 months to study, and I learned a lot there. And I realized that the world is a much bigger place than the little box that we live in, and I wanted to be a part of that. But I also knew that you have to put yourself in a situation, a good position to actually do great things, and I wasn't ready for that. So I came back to the States and lived a normal, typical African American life, some good, some bad. But as I got older, I realized a lot of the bad stuff it's not necessary to have to deal with. Of course, you're going to deal with, just being in the States, you're going to deal with racism if you're African American. There's no way around that. You have to deal with that. There's, I was telling, I forgot who I was telling that to, but I've never done a crime in my whole life, but I've been to jail several times, and that's just because I was driving a car as an African American, and they'll find a way to do things to you that you don't want them to do. And it wasn't long before I started realizing a lot of this is not necessary. You can find a better position to be in. You can find a way to put yourself in a position that you don't have to deal with that sort of thing. And so I had always planned to do something in Africa. What country, I wasn't sure. Initially, I thought it'll be West Africa because it's closest to the U.S. I like water; it's right on the ocean, that sort of thing. But I didn't make specific plans, and so I went about the process of, I went to college and all that stuff. Ended up trying to do the right thing, marrying the wrong girl, having kids and that sort of thing, and that didn't work out. But I also realized eventually that the decisions that you make, you better make sure you make some good decisions when you're young, because it's going to affect you when you get older. And so I eventually, once I got myself together, I ended up getting married again to my wife she's from Somalia. And everything was great. Life was great. I still had plans to do things in Africa, but then I lost her to a heart condition that she had. And so it was back on me again. And so I eventually said, okay, it's time. So I did my research, my due diligence online, of course, before I went, and I decided I want to open a vacation retreat. I'll make money, and I'll use that money to do the things that I want to do. But where are you going to do that at? Well, I knew I wanted to do it in a place that had to have lots of tourism. It had to be a well-established tourism destination. It had to be on the beach, in the ocean. It had to be a great place to be. People want to go. People want to travel long distances to get to. It had to be just a great place to be. So but I also wanted it to be in Africa. Why? Is because for a lot of reasons. One, it's hard to explain, but at least I wanted to have, I know my ancestors went through a lot, and I wanted to, I guess, gives me a feeling of bringing back what was taken from them, I should say. And so I wanted to give back to Africa in some way. But the problem there is you only know what you've seen. And if you're in America or anywhere in the West, what you've seen of Africa is Tarzan, and you might see some wildlife, but the rest is, you don't want that. But I was fortunate enough to know that wasn't quite true, because I had been there when I was younger. And so I looked around and said, where can I go that has all the things that I want? And I started looking around. I said, South Africa is much more developed than most of the countries in Africa, at least sub-Saharan Africa. But in South Africa, they're still reeling from apartheid and trying to deal with that. And I want nothing with all of that, because I have enough of that here in the United States. So I said, well, what about Kenya? Kenya is very much more developed than a lot of countries. I looked at Kenya, and I liked Mombasa, Kenya. Mombasa is on the coastal part of Kenya. It's got all that white sand beaches. It's got turquoise blue waters, palm trees and coconut trees and banana trees, and it has a tourism sector. Matter of fact, tourism is its number one industry in Mombasa. And so I decided I think I want to do it in Mombasa. So I happen to know some other business owners, African American here in the U.S. And I kind of gave them my spiel, and they say, you know what, we want to do it too. So a few of us got together, and we decided we're going to open a vacation retreat. and we're going to use shipping containers. Believe it or not, we're gonna convert shipping containers into one bedroom uh, beach cottages, basically, and we rent them out on Airbnb and VRBO and Booking.com and all of that. And so we went about the process of finding companies who do that. We found some companies. Went to Africa. Went to Kenya. Went to Nairobi. Went to Mombasa, and got everything set up. And then we went to Zanzibar. Just while we were there, we said, let's go check out Zanzibar because we know Zanzibar is very similar to Mombasa in that it's, again, white sand beaches everywhere, tourism sector, it's well developed. The ocean, it's an island right off the coast of Tanzania. So we went there and we were blown away. We were like, this is even better than Mombasa. Everything's bigger. It's the tourism is more developed. It's bigger. More people come there. More beaches, more white sand, more coconut trees, more banana and mango trees. It was just a better deal. So we changed. We kind of pivoted and started the process of doing it in Zanzibar instead of Mombasa. And so instead of the only difference, I guess, is our units were being built in Kenya, so we had them shipped to Zanzibar and finished on site. So we acquired some property, shipped the units there. It was mostly done by the time it got there. We had to finish it up on site, made the place look real nice, and then we put it on Airbnb and started making money that way. So right now I'm in the U.S., but I go back and forth to Zanzibar. But I guess people say, well, where do you find me? I always say that, you can find me in the KRT. And I guess I coined that phrase because the KRT is, to me, is Kenya, Rwanda, and Tanzania. They're so close in proximity to each other that if you're in one, you might as well go to the other one too. And so I'm always in not just Zanzibar. I'm in Nairobi. I'm in Mombasa. That's in Kenya. I'm in Tanzania, Dar es Salaam. I'm in Zanzibar, Rwanda. I'm in Kigali, Lake Kivu. I'm in Ethiopia, Addis Ababa, because I plan to do the same thing we did in Zanzibar. I want to do that in Ethiopia, in Kenya, and in Rwanda, because they all have a tourism sector. So for Kenya, it's Mombasa. For Tanzania, it's Zanzibar. For Rwanda, it's a place called Lake Kivu. And in Addis Ababa, in Ethiopia, there's a couple places. There's a place called Awassa, and there's another place, there's a big lake there. They don't have ocean, but they do have lakes. And it's called Bahir Dar. So it's basically, we're going to rinse and repeat and do the same thing in all of those countries. So it's a matter of going through the process of getting everything in order, planning things, acquiring the property, the land, everything. Just exactly what we did in Zanzibar, we do the other one. So I'm back and forth, because I do have a business here in the U.S. that my primary business here. So
amazing, bro. So now, Baba, so I wanted to get back to the very beginning, right? So
sure.
Now Tanzania. So now I think my first question is funding, right? So you plan to open up a vacation spot in Tanzania, not Africa in general. You chose Kenya, but then you pivoted to Tanzania. Now, before we were speaking about how you did sort of the process, looking for property, business dealings there, funding, right? Where did the money come from? How much do you need, right, to get a property in Tanzania or set the whole thing up? Break down funding for me, brother. Funding.
Well, first of all, you got to understand your dollar in the U.S. goes a very long way. Anywhere you go, pretty much in Africa, it goes a long way. So, depending on the country, $1 can equal, $5. It can equal more than that. But for Tanzania, they are relatively stable in comparison to a lot of other countries. So it kind of stays fairly the same. Either way, your dollar is going to go a long way. What I did was I said, to minimize the risk, I get other people who have the same idea and who think the same, and we all go in together. We literally took money out of our companies, out of our own pocket, put it in a pot, and acquired the land, built the units, did all of the everything came directly out of our own pockets. We didn't get a loan. We didn't nothing. Nothing like that at all. Just we saved up enough money and put it together. We found out how much it's going to be. You got to do your due diligence for sure. You got to do your research. But then once you get the information, you find out exactly what you need, put the money together, and do it.
Okay. So how much did each of you put for the land? Let's start with that. Was it 10 grand each, and was it 5 of you guys? Was it 50 grand in total?
It's a whole lot more than that, but I don't think they want me to divulge the amount. But
okay.
it was enough to put it this way. If I bought a house, if I used that money to buy a house here in the U.S., it would be a waste of money, for sure. No question about it. The money that we used it's going to generate. It's not generating that right now, but it will generate tenfold easily in Africa because, like I said, money goes a long way. All of the revenue that we make, it's not local money. It's coming from international travelers who travel mostly from Europe, from UK, from Italy, from Germany, from all over, from the US, because the only reason is because Europe is closer to Africa than the US. So it's an 8-hour flight from Italy or from Germany, while it's an 18-hour flight from the US. So if I were in France and I say I want to take a vacation to Zanzibar, it's much easier, costs much less, and it takes less time to get there. And so that's why most of our clients come from Europe. But just like the US dollar, all European money goes a long way in Zanzibar. And so the revenue that we make comes from international people with a lot of money, as opposed to local money. So it's constantly going upward, basically.
Awesome, bro. So let me ask this, brother. Right. So you and your friends, people that you know in your circle, put money together, right? And then which is fantastic, bro. Now break down for me the journey for searching for land, right? Now that's quite tricky because you're American. You're not. You weren't born in Tanzania, so you don't know the customs here and there. Did you have to contact a Tanzanian company to help you look for land, or did you travel to Tanzania yourself with your friends and then network there? Or I want to know how you actually found the land and who you spoke to, who you contacted. How does it work there, bro?
Yeah, feeling around in the dark. That's where we made our biggest mistakes and our errors, because that's the first step, really. After you find out where you're going to be, is how do you get there? What do you do? And so how do you find land there? first thing we did, well, we do have the internet, so you go online and look. Are there any real estate companies or websites that deal in the area that we were looking at? And you search and search and you find not really. There are some, but not really. And say, well, okay, well, what about getting somebody on, boots on the ground, someone who can work with us and lead us the right direction. And we found that, well, let's find real estate attorneys. You can find those online. So we looked up real estate attorneys and got some on board and paid a lot of money for them to find properties for us. And some of them they did, but this is early in the first phase of, is the part that we were considering doing Kenya first in Mombasa. And we found out that in Mombasa, there's a lot of real estate fraud and scams, a whole lot. And so most of the prospects of land that we got back were scams. The vast majority of them were. But that obviously didn't deter us. It just made it much more difficult. So then we realized we're going to have to go put boots on the ground. This is all before we actually went there the first time. And so we had lawyers who helped us to some degree. We got information online on how to determine whether property was actually legitimate or not. There's a lot of believe it or not, YouTube information on how to determine whether land is actually for sale by the real owner and it's legitimate and all of that. And it's real good information. We use that a lot because not only do you have to determine whether land is legit, but you also determine is whoever you're working with, are they legit? Even the lawyers, even attorneys. You have to find out the lawyers, the professional entity that they are under, so that if there's any problem, first of all, make sure that they are registered and with the appropriate professional organization. And then you look them up, and then if they are, then that leads you toward they may be a good contact person. So then we utilize them, and then you have to go there and see for yourself and talk to people, and then that's with the lawyers, with the real estate guys and so forth. And then you got to go there without them, because we found that a lot of them will actually engage with the local people and say, listen, we'll pay you some money if you tell them whatever we tell you to tell them. It's a lot of corruption. And so you got to meet with them, without the other, without your lawyers and the real estate people too. And we just found that in Mombasa, it's still possible, but it's much more difficult to do because of the corruption. Zanzibar, there's corruption too, but it's much less. It's the methods that they have to verify is much more readily available and easy to access. And it's just, there's much more property that you can look for, that's available to acquire.
Awesome, bro. So you're saying that around the US, you found a Tanzanian real estate attorney who then helped to pull it all together. Several of them. Okay. Yes. And then they helped you to obviously vet people, look for land, the customs, etc., bro. Okay. And then, so you then get into Tanzania, you scope the environment, scope the land, you pick one land to buy, right? So how did you know what land to pick, right? And was that a decision that all of you chose at once, or were you the leader to choose that land? How did you know what land to pick, bro?
Yeah, I was a leader, but it was, we meet regularly and go over it and come up to a conclusion and so forth. But really, you just put all of the factors on the table and find out which one has the most of what you want. We knew, again, we wanted, it needed to be a scenic view, directly on the ocean. It had to have a beautiful, had to have beautiful white sand beach that stretched for miles in either direction. It had to be within close enough proximity to a tourist destination on the island, so that we wouldn't have to market toward that because it's already a market. There's a market there anyway. We also knew that the property had to be big enough for at least 3 units, and we had to have contacts around there, and it wouldn't be difficult to get. In other words, you arrive on the island in the airplane. How long does it at the airport? How long does it take to get? Do you have to drive two hours to get there, or is it easy to access? And then so we went about the process of we found some local drivers who, they will drive you. It's like taxi cab drivers. They'll drive you anywhere you want to go. But these turn out that these people really know everything you want to know about the island. So you just tell them, hey, we're looking for some land to acquire. Do you know anyone selling it? If you find somebody, we'll give you some money. You pay them, and we'll be back in a week. If you got a list, you might make some money. You come back, and it's maybe 100 places to go. So it's impossible to see everything. That's how open it is. And so we go through the process of checking out as many as we possibly can, arranging meetings with the owners. A lot of the owners weren't even Tanzanian or Zanzibari. They were foreigners who did not live in Zanzibar. They just owned property, and they live in Europe or something. So it's a lot of phone calls, but a lot of face-to-face meetings, walking the land, measuring the properties, all of that stuff. And then we settled on the one that had the most of everything we wanted. A lot of them didn't have, there's no, maybe there was no electricity. The property is beautiful, but there's absolutely no electricity, or there's no running water, or something, or it's too remote, or it looks great. It looks great, but the water, in Zanzibar, the tides come in and out 2 times a day, and the water it looks great this at this time of the day, but later on in the evening it's flooded, or there's so many other things. And we found the one that worked perfectly for us.
Fantastic, bro. So now you got the land. Who did you pay? Who owned that land? Was it a black person, or was it a company that owned that land?
It was a guy from a white guy from the Netherlands happened to own it. He bought it a long time ago, believe it or not. Yeah, believe it or not. And that you'll find that a lot, where in Africa, the owners of the best places are not even African. It's heartbreaking to see, but it is a fact. And the reason is because part of the reason is because, remember, all of Africa, for the most part, just got their independence, a few years ago, 1965 and 1962 and all of that. And before then, all of their land was, depending on which country was colonizing it, it was owned by the Queen or owned by, they didn't have it. And so there was a mad dash for property grabbing when they gained their independence. A lot of that was grabbed up by the same people who colonized them. And also, I guess a lot of Africans, or what I've seen is a lot of Africans they just don't know the potential that they have, and so they let property go with that is worth much more than they know. And people who do know the value will come and snatch it right up, and especially right now. Well, they're learning now. Now the property values are going up fast because they're learning. Oh, okay, this is happening, and especially in Zanzibar. Zanzibar in a few years is going to be a very big international tourist destination, and the people who do own land, Africans who do own land in Zanzibar, are holding out as the money as the property goes and value goes up, because they know they'll make a lot of money. So it's getting a little bit harder, but the property is still there.
Wow, that is a shame, but hopefully that changes, man. That's shocking, man. Was it expensive to buy the land from the Netherlands guy? Was it really expensive?
It was more than we had bargained for, but it was doable, and it's worth it.
Okay. So, brother, when you buy the land from him, right? I'm guessing there's contracts involved, right? There's lawyers involved as well to make sure that he's not scamming you, and that there's a what's it called? There's a handover process, right? So that's all. Did lawyers handle that, brother? Right? And the contracts are all signed and all that stuff. That you're the owner of the land or the deed, and then the Tanzanian government approves it.
So
Was it done in a formal process? Go on, bro. Sorry.
Yeah, so we have a land contract basically, and in Africa you'll find that there's so many ways. It's not just one way of doing things. It depends on how creative you want to be. You can do pretty much anything with land, as long as you follow the rules of the land. The laws. You get a lawyer who knows all the rules, and then you dot all of your I's and cross all of your T's and make sure everything is done, signed perfectly, and you're good to go.
Awesome. Fantastic, bro. Fantastic. So now the land is now yours, brother, right? Now,
yes,
building on the land, right? So I'm guessing you built a house from scratch, by wood, by brick, right? On the land. Is that how it works?
That is not how it works. Actually, ours is very, very unique. Matter of fact, it's nothing like our place in pretty much Africa that I've seen, because our units are built by shipping containers. They're literally shipping containers, 40-foot shipping containers that we converted into homes. And wherever a shipping container can go, we can take it with us. So if we wanted to, we can literally have a crane pick up our plates, put it on a truck, ship it to Ethiopia if we want to, or ship it to the US. Wherever we want to go, we can take it with us. So we didn't build the units on the property. We built the foundations. There's concrete foundations and so forth, and pillars and so forth. But we had the units shipped directly to the property, and then strategically placed in certain positions on the property.
So, but you're telling me that the property itself is made up of shipping containers. Is that what you're telling me, brother? No.
Yes.
So, and that'll be metal, right? Metal, I'm assuming. Metal.
Yeah, it's made out of steel. It's steel, cordon steel shipping containers. They're 40 feet long, and they're 8 feet wide and about 9 feet high.
Whoa!
Right now it's very popular thing to do around the world. They're called shipping container homes, and at least in the U.S., people are doing it all over the place because it's relatively easy to do, much less expensive than actually building or buying a house. And you can make it any way you want to. You can stack them on top of each other and make it bigger. You can put them next to each other. You can, like Lego blocks. You can make it any way you want it to. We just decided we're going to make them separate, 3 of them, and they're going to be single units. So 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, 1 kitchen, 1 living room, you know.
Wow, brother, whose idea was it to ship in containers?
Mine. I looked around for the best way of doing things, and I liked the fact that it's kind of a viral moment for shipping containers. Like a lot of people are really interested in the idea of just living in one, just staying in one because it's a unique experience. And so people will pay just to come to your place and stay in one. Let alone, not to mention the fact that you're staying in a shipping container and you're staying on an island in Africa on a beautiful beach, now right now people like to take social media videos and that sort of thing, so they want to come there and take their Instagram photos and all that, and so that's less marketing for us because they already want to come. We don't have to market that part. We do have to market that we are there, but we don't have to market what a shipping container is because these people already know. They find us.
Amazing, bro. So, brother, how much did it cost to build the concrete, the shipping container in total? How much did it cost to build that, bro? Was that 6 figures?
No, nowhere near that. Well, it's figures for all in, yes. But one, if you just want to do one, nowhere near that. You can do. You can. We made some big mistakes when we first did it, as far as the cost is concerned and who to do the platforms and all of that. But we could have paid maybe, I think, let's see, generally speaking, I mean, ballpark, just for the foundations, all 3 foundations, about 60,000. That's for all 3. But we could have paid a third of that easily. But we made a mistake. Again, this is our first one, so we're going to make some mistakes. So we probably could have gotten away with paying maybe 20,000 for all in with the foundations.
Whoa! So that's the concrete and the actual shipping container, the inside of the property as well. You're saying that could have been all been done for 20 grand if you had the experience to know the industry very well in Tanzania.
No, just the concrete slabs or concrete. So they're positioned in a very strategic way. There's a hill that goes downward, and then part of the unit is on the top of the hill, and the other part goes out where it's about 8 feet high, and so you have to build pillars and concrete pillars and put these one end on the hill and the other end on the pillars, and you have to have all these structures in place so it doesn't fall down. That itself is a big process. That's probably the most important process, is the foundation. Once you get the foundation, and that we could have done that for about 20,000, but we paid probably more than 3 times the amount to get it done. We know now when we do the next one, but that's how much that costs. One unit you can get, depending on who you get to do it and the contract that you sign and all of that, you can literally take a shipping container, build it just like ours, $30,000 or less. We can do it probably $15,000 because now we know how to do it. But a new person for the first time, you can get it done about 30,000, one unit.
Wow. So now, brother, right? Who built the whole thing for you? Did you have to find like a building company, a construction company in Tanzania to build the foundation, obviously the concrete, and then the containers, all that stuff to put all together? Did you have to search around Tanzania to find the best company, or did you use a US company to do so? Break it down for me, brother, the builders.
No, so I searched around Africa. We know that Ghana has some shipping container companies that do that. They build shipping containers, and there's some nice shipping container homes in Ghana. You just look through the internet and look on YouTube and so forth, and you find them and you contact them. Say, hey, we would like to, what's your prices, and can you do what we want, and send us some drawings, and we'll send you some what we're thinking, some drawings, and that sort of things. What are your prices, and what is it going to take to have it shipped from Ghana all the way to Zanzibar and all of that. So we looked at Ghana, looked at South Africa has some really good ones too, companies, a couple of them. Contacted them. Again, what is the cost? What is it going to be? What is it going to take for you guys to do it? How long does it take? How do you send it? How do you ship it to Zanzibar? Is that possible? Do you do that? Do you know a company that will ship it? Do you only build it and leave it in South Africa and that sort of thing? South Africa, but we ended up settling on Kenya. Kenya, there's about 6 companies, believe it or not, 6 companies in Kenya that do shipping containers. But we also knew that it needed to be better than the quality had to be unquestionable. It had to be beautiful. And the ones that we saw in Kenya, most of them were not that great. Matter of fact, they just weren't up to our standards. But there was a couple of them that were, and we nailed down the specifics. And the thing that won us over with the one company that we ended up going with is that they were also a logistics company. So they also ship and transport cargo. And so if we're going to build it, we might as well go with these guys because they have to ship it. As opposed to now going to a company who, we have to work that out with them. Can you ship our units to an island it's not that far away, but still it's more involved. We have never shipped anything ever. This is the first time. And so it might as well go with them. So we ended up going with them. They built it in Kenya, in Mombasa. And because we were going to just build it there and leave it there, because again, we were going to open in Mombasa initially. But they built it and then we shipped it to Zanzibar on cargo ships.
Wow, incredible.
They did the process of the whole process, basically taking it from their company to the port, from the port to the ship, from the ship to Zanzibar, from Zanzibar's port, from the port to trucks to drive it to a waiting place. So because it has to go through customs and all of that and inspection. And then from there because we didn't have the property yet, wait there, we pay some money for them to keep it there for a while, and then to the property. After we have the property in place and the foundations in place, and we drop it on the foundations. 80% of the work is done. 70%, because it just so happens that our property did not have running water. It did not have electricity, and it did not have sewerage at all. Nothing. It was just beautiful piece of land that's by nature just beautiful. I mean, you can climb a tree and get coconuts and mangoes, or jump right in the ocean and swim after just walking, or you can just walk on the beach for miles, I don't know, 10, 20 miles either direction. And so we had to figure out how we're going to get electricity and everything. So we decided we could go through the process of getting the municipalities to run electrical poles all the way to our unit from the road, which is not that far away, and it would have cost a lot of money. And there's still some corruption there, so you probably have to pay some people to facilitate that. and it may or may not get done when you want it to, or you can go off grid 100% and do solar power. So we decided to do that. We created our own electrical grid, solar electrical grid that supplies electricity to everything. And so that's how we have full electricity. But we're not connected to the power grid on the island, which turned out to be, we didn't know, but it was actually a great idea because they lose their power a lot. They have a lot of rolling blackouts in Zanzibar. We don't, because we're not connected to them. So it works out for us. And then as far as water, we had a company come in and drill a well that pumps our own water. So we're not connected to their water system either. We have our own water, and we pumps it out, and we built a water tower, and the water gets pumped out of the ground up to the water tower, and then gets dispersed to all the units for everything. And then there's no sewage either. So we created our own septic tank system for all the units underground. So we're 100% off grid, although you would never be able to tell unless we told you.
Damn. So several questions here, brother. Right. So the shipping company who made the containers for you and shipped it over to Zanzibar, was that black owned, or was that also European owned?
No, they're black owned. They're African owned. Well, they're Indian and African owned.
Okay.
They're all Kenyans.
All Kenyans. Okay, awesome, bro. Next question for you, brother. Right, the solar energy power stuff, right? Was that expensive for you guys to set up? And did you set up yourself, brother, or was it someone that set up for you guys? And was that expensive?
Both. We got a company to set it up for us. Mostly, I would say 80% for us, and then maybe 20% we did ourselves. Just learn how to do it, the rest of it ourselves, and did it ourselves. But it's not very difficult to do, because it turns out a lot of people do that in Africa, solar power, because they don't have the grid that Western countries have. So they would rather, it's easier for them, first of all, to just set up their own solar system, and you might pay a large amount of money initially, but once you got it set up, it's 100% free for the rest of the time. You never have to pay a dime. And so there's a lot of companies in Tanzania, in Kenya, in South Africa. They set up, they manufacture and sell entire solar power systems for small applications, for single family homes, to really small, like maybe an apartment, to huge resorts. And they service them, they sell them, and they manufacture them. Ours comes from a company called SunSync. SunSync is a company they're all over the world. Their main offices are in the UK, but they have a branch in China. They have a branch in South Africa. They have a small satellite in Kenya. They have a bunch of different places around the world. And so whenever we have a problem, we just contact them and say, hey, what do we do about this? What do we do about that? And they teach you how to use their product, because they know that it's an emerging technology that a lot of people don't know how to do. So they'll help you learn. And so we learned from them how to do certain things. Then we went about the process of getting it done. So it's like I said, you can't really tell that it's off grid and it's solar power unless we tell you, because all the solar panels are on top of the roof of our shipping container, so you can't see it.
Amazing, bro. Amazing. So now in terms of How much that cost, the whole solar stuff? Was it expensive as well?
It can be expensive. Ours was not that expensive because we did it in stages. We started with what the one thing we didn't know, and they couldn't tell us, is how much we would need. So you have to buy it based on how much electricity you use, and we didn't know because how much electricity does a Airbnb guest use on average? We just had no real idea. So we started off with I think we did three panels, and we had we actually didn't start. Let me back up a little bit. We didn't start with this company. We started with another company, which was a very, very inexpensive kind of bargain brand deal. And what we ended up doing was we set it up for, I would say, less than $10,000. It was maybe I think it was around 8,000, something like that, and we opened with that. But that wasn't enough. We had some blackouts. You can't have blackouts in a retreat like that. So we added added solar panels. We added batteries, and we went. That's when we went with SunSync, and we ended up paying probably about 30,000 altogether.
Okay, bro. Now the water stuff, right? Did the company set that up for you?
So again, I probably didn't say this. One thing that is extremely important to do is have connections. When you get connections, keep those connections and utilize them. Make it mutually beneficial for them and yourself. Make them, earn money. Pay them well, and you will utilize that service a lot later. And so during the process, we made a lot of connections. One of the connections was an individual who is engineering contractor at a housing development in Zanzibar. So he had a lot of connections. So we told him, hey, we need water. And he said, okay, no problem. I'll find a company who will come and drill your well for you. And so he went out and found the company. They came. We paid them a lot of money. And in about 4 days, we had a well. And it's been working exceptionally well ever since.
Amazing, bro. Amazing. Was that expensive too?
So that came from contacts. Matter of fact, at this point, everything is a product of all of our contacts at this point.
Okay. Was it expensive to get the well done?
Not very. I mean, when you look at the whole picture, it's extremely inexpensive. I think we paid less than $5,000.
Awesome,
So
bro.
we make that up in 1 year.
Awesome. So, the whole sewage system, right? Was that also a company that set that up for you? And was that for Connections too, where they connect the toilet to the central sewage system in Zanzibar?
No, we create that. So again, a connection. We said we need a septic system that we create, we build, and one of our connections knew some guys who do that. They're not professional. That's what they do in Zanzibar. They just go from place to place, building septic systems for people, usually for homes, though, one individual homes. And we said, can you do a bigger one? Is it possible? And they say, yeah, it's possible. And so they did it. And it's not a huge process really at all. Really, what it takes is you need a bulldozer to dig a big hole. You need brick masons you have to build an inside wall inside the hole, and it has to be a massive hole. Like you put fit 2 cars down there. It's huge. And then there's a specific way you have to put these corridors or partitions in there so the waste will be, I guess, dealt with properly. Because in Zanzibar, the island is mainly coral rock. So unlike mainland where there's just soil and dirt, if you start digging deep, you're going to hit rock. And that's good for a septic system because that's what helps clean the soil. And so they built that for us. And then you put concrete slab on top of it with an access to it, just in case something happens that they need to get in there and fix something. And then you run large pipes to waste pipes to the units underground, and you connect it to your toilets, to your sinks, bathroom, kitchen. You're done. That's it.
Does someone pick up the waste, or does the waste go to the central?
No, the waste goes down. It filters. The ground filters it, and it goes down. But if it were, that's one way to do it. Another way to do it is, if you did it, I guess it's the easiest way to do it, which is it's not filtered, and you have to have a company come and pull it out every, I don't know, depends on when it fills up, let's say every 6 months or something like that. But I didn't like that way because, for one, it's more money that you have to spend. Two, it's not easily managed. And three, that's not the proper way to do it. You want to do it properly, let the ground filter it the proper way.
Awesome. And Baba, how much that costs?
The septic system, it wasn't much at all. I would say less than 10,000, something like that.
Awesome, bro. So whether the what's it called, the electricity, the water, the sewage system, that all happened after you built the container, or was that before the container?
That was after, because we had the units there before we built it. Yeah, the first thing that happens, we I'll tell you in chronological order. We got the unit, we got the property. We had to prep the property, so it's a lot of trees and shrubbery, and we had to dig down maybe a foot of foliage that we had to dig through and clean out. Cut down some trees, make it look real nice. Then we built the platforms to put the units on. Then we brought the units there, and then we started building the solar power system, I think. Then right after that, we built the septic tank system, and then at first we actually had a company that we built a water tower, and then we put in Tanzania and in Kenya, everybody has these huge water containers near their home that they fill up. There's companies come and give you fresh water every month or something, every few weeks or what have you. Whenever you run out, you call them. They come. A big truck comes and delivers, fills your container up. So initially we had that. And they would just come and fill it up when the guests, when we run out of water. But that got expensive because you got to constantly call them and to fill it up. That's when we said, you know what, enough of this. Let's go ahead and drill this well.
Awesome, bro. Awesome.
So now then the water just we pump the water we keep the water container, but we pump the water onto the water tower, and then the gravity and water pumps push the water down, pushes it underground to the units.
Awesome, bro. Awesome. So now, brother, next question for you is so so the property is complete. It's all been set up. That's fantastic, bro. Now, so basically, when you were discussing this idea with your friends, right? Was there a contract you created where everyone's bound by how much money they put in, what they know, and did you get a US lawyer involved to make sure that everyone signs a contract that if anyone, let's say, someone's a flake or someone is actually a scammer in your friend group, that can happen. There's a contract here that prevents anyone like you or your friends from going rogue. I'm assuming, bro. Yeah.
That is the correct way of doing it. We did not do it that way. We did it because these are individuals who are I've known for my whole life. One of them is my own brother, and so we didn't feel we needed to, and we didn't. But that is the correct way of doing things. I would not advise doing it my way because uh, you never, like you said, you have to protect yourself. You have to protect your investment. You have to be smart. You don't want to do all of that for no reason, and then somebody goes rogue or does something really stupid, messes it up, or what have you. Uh, it's just not smart to not do that, generally speaking.
But and how much are there of you as investors? Is it five? Is it 10? Is it two? Is it four?
It was that. So we started this before COVID, and had we I can't remember if we went to Africa the first time before COVID or after, but either way, right in the middle of us really making a move, COVID hit, which shut down everything. And remember, most of us are business owners, and so now we have to look at, well, I'm going to do this project while my business is shut in the US. If you own a business, it's shut down during COVID. Like I had to shut down my clinics completely, 100%, and lay off a ton of people. And we had zero income, no money coming in. But yet we're using this money out of our pocket to fund this project that's this crazy project that everybody said, this is crazy. You guys are crazy. But and at the same time, we don't know how long this COVID thing is going to happen or anything. So what we ended up doing, a lot of them backed out. They did back out because it had to come between their company, keeping their company afloat, and the project. And a lot of them backed out, and it ended up being it came down to 3 people. And then even then, one ended up backing out after that, and it was 2 people. And then recently, the last one backed out. Now it's just me.
Now it's just you. Oh wow.
Yep.
Damn. Wow.
So that's why I
Come on, bro.
said, but it's all mutual. There's no hard feelings or anything like that. I understand they got to get their money maker, keep it afloat. You can't. It's just not wise to take big risks when your money maker is not where it needs to be. So they need to get their primary revenue stream, back on track, and then they can make moves like that. I was lucky enough that I had enough revenue to do both, but if I didn't, I would have backed out too, because it's a massive risk. No one's done. I don't know anyone who's done anything like this ever. So we don't know what we're up to. It turns out that we did enough due diligence and research to have a really good idea, but we don't. There's learning curves. There's unexpected things that happen. None of that really was bad enough to stop the project.
So Robert, those who backed out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did they already get money's worth from their investments, or did you have to pay them? Off
So
or
you got to buy them out. You got to buy them out because they
mm,
invested money. So I have to buy them out.
okay. And brother, did you buy them out from the money that you made from the property already? Was it already successful?
No, no. Uh, some of it is still. Some of them are still have to wait till we uh, make even more money to buy them out. They're not fully bought out yet.
Okay.
Because remember, this is a new project, so we're not fully on our feet yet, but we're well on our way.
Awesome, bro. Awesome. So next one for you, brother, right? So in terms of
Mhm.
so when you get paid, right, from different currencies, so let's say there's a Dutch person that wants to use your property who pay in euros. There's a Brazilian person that wants to use your property who pay in Brazilian reals, American dollars, English person pounds. Do you convert all of them into US dollars to make it easy, or do you accept all those currencies in different currencies? And is that tricky in terms of taxes or in terms of profit? How does that work, brother, when you get paid?
It's not tricky at all because we accept Visa and Mastercard, and through either Airbnb or Booking.com or Expedia.com or you name it, or our own website. And as long as you can pay with Visa and Mastercard, it automatically converts to US dollars, and we can pay it.
Okay. So, brother, so and for you to get converted to US dollars, right, you got to be a US citizen, right, for them to convert it for you, right, or have an American bank.
No, no, because uh, our our clients come from all over the world. I so far we probably had, I don't know, 30 different countries from 30 different countries, and they all pay the same. It's exactly the same. As long as you have Visa and Mastercard, no matter where you're from, no matter what your citizenship is, as long as you have Visa or Mastercard, you can pay, even if the money is in your home country. Of, let's say you're from Switzerland and you decide I want to go to Zanzibar, and you're going to pay Airbnb. Airbnb then pays us US dollars, or you pay us directly. You go to our website and you book on our website. It doesn't matter. You put your card in and it converts to US dollars.
Awesome, fantastic, bro. Um, but so for it, so so why doesn't it convert to pounds then? Is it because you're a US citizen? That's why it's US dollars, right?
Because we set it up as a US company. So even though
Mm.
it's in Tanzania, the company itself is in the US.
So you pay taxes in both Tanzania and the US, or only in the US?
Well, we're only in the US right now because it just so happens that, so I also own a condo there in Zanzibar for myself. I my own residence there. And if you buy a condo, depending on how much you pay, if you buy a condo in Zanzibar, you don't have to pay taxes for I think it's 5 years or something like that. I can't remember exactly, but you get a massive break on your taxes as long as you're a company. And so you just connect your company, your individual self to your company, and now your company doesn't have to pay the taxes.
Awesome. For 5 years, but after 5 years, brother, you had to pay taxes in both countries, I'm assuming.
Well, yeah, no, we definitely don't have to pay in Tanzania, but as things change, eventually we're going to transfer the company to Tanzania, where because there's a lot of other perks that you can get if your business is in Tanzania.
Awesome, bro. Awesome. So, brother, so while you're in the US, right? Obviously, your property is being used. Who looks after the property for you? Is it a property management out there in Tanzania? Do they clean up the property, make sure the property is functioning properly, and let you know if there's any issues? Break it up, me, bro.
Again, it comes down to connections. Everything boils down to connections in Africa. If you get connections, you're golden. We have connections. And so we have an individual who stays on the property and he runs the property all by himself. We do the administrative stuff, but he runs the property as far as he makes sure the cleaners come and clean things. If anything gets broken, he's the one to call the people to fix it, or he fixes it himself. He maintains the property. A few months ago, there was a hurricane in the Indian Ocean, and it caused some damage. He's the one to have that, all the damage repaired, that sort of thing. We don't have a company doing it, at least not right now. We're not big enough to even do that yet. But I do have a company rent my personal property out while I'm not there, and they manage everything. So it's completely hands off for me. I don't have to do anything except collect a check from them, and they manage everything.
Awesome, bro. That company for your personal property, was that through connections, or was that something you found online that handles that for people?
No, it's through it's both through connections. So if you look up a place called Fumba Town in Zanzibar, it's a brand new gated community in Zanzibar that is phenomenal. It is phenomenal. What they do is they build these condos and townhouses and all types of different dwellings and so forth in this gated community. And they know that, and people from all over the world buy. I think they said there's 50, more than 50. No, I think now it's more than 60 some countries that exist. People, owners from Fumba Town, owners in Fumba Town are from 60 some different countries. So they're all over the place. But but very few of them actually live there. They're like me. They go here, they come here, they go there, back and forth. And so they will rent. So they'll sell you your property, knowing that you're probably not going to be there all the time, and then they rent it out for you if you so choose to, and they take care of everything.
Wow, incredible, bro, incredible. So next question for you, brother, right? So the guy that is on your property every day, do you pay him a salary every month? I'm guessing to do that for you.
No, we don't. We pay him by. It's going to sound odd, but we pay him by jobs. So he does a certain thing, he gets paid for that. Does something else, he gets paid by that. Everything that he does, the things that he does, we pay him by those jobs that he does, and the rest of it is just basic management. Because we don't want to waste money and say, well, you're just collecting money for no reason, right? He does a good job in maintaining everything, and we don't have to worry about, for the most part, anything, because if there's something too big for him to handle, he'll contact us and say, hey, well, contact me and say, this is happening. What do you think about this? Should we make changes here? Here's my suggestion. And then we pay him well for that.
Wow. So he just lives there. That's awesome, bro.
He has a free place to live. He lives in paradise. He lives right on the ocean. When I was there last time, I said, man, let's trade places. He wakes up to the ocean. I don't.
Damn. So, brother, how did you find him then? Was that through connections, or was that a personal friend of yours?
Connections. Let's see. We had there's an American company there in Tanzania on the mainland. It's a small company, new company. It's just a lady and her husband, and what they do is they they make arrangements. They help people who want to expatriate to Zanzibar, to move to Zanzibar or to do work in Zanzibar. And so whatever you need, they'll get it for you. If you need to find a house to live in, they'll help you find it. If you need some contacts, if you need to figure out how to, maybe you shipping your furniture there, they'll help you find that and so forth. So we work with them to what did we end up doing? Oh, during the time that we had some hiccups while we were shipping our shipping containers. There was damage. They bumped our shipping containers and damaged two of them, and so we had to find a way to move them, or to find someone to repair them first of all, and then remember I said we put them in a holding place until the property was done. Well, we also cladded the exterior of our units with tile, and we needed someone to do that. And so they said, "Well, we'll get it done for you." So we paid them to find someone to do it, and they did such a great job that the main guy who was in charge of that particular job left the company eventually later on and came back to us and said, "Hey, I know you guys getting ready to open up. I need a job." And we said, "Perfect. Come on aboard. We got a job for you." And he's been there ever since, doing a great job.
Amazing, bro. Fantastic.
But again,
fantastic,
that came
brother.
from connections, right? We try not to ever burn our bridges. We try to connect with people properly and make sure that they benefit just as much as we do, and everybody's happy. If you do that, good things will happen, I believe.
Facts, bro. Particularly in Africa, bro. Particularly in Africa, I definitely agree. That's definitely. I think human management is very important in Africa. Treating people correctly, nicely, having a mutual understanding, mutual beneficial situations will take you very far in Africa, without a single doubt. So let me ask this, brother. Right. So now, in your process in getting the whole thing done right, how bad was the corruption? Was there a lot of corruption, or was it very little corruption, or no corruption in your whole process, in your opinion?
There was corruption, but
Damn.
you have to navigate around it. I try not to participate in corruption at all if I can avoid it, because it's not in the long run. Okay, so I want to be, again, I feel that I'm coming back to Africa, right? That's my motherland. My ancestors were taken in a horrific way from there, with thinking that they'll never see that land ever again, and they never did. And so I feel like I'm their ears and eyes coming back. And so I want to do things that will help and not hurt. And I know I'm here in the U.S. I know corruption. You'll never get anywhere with corruption, because you're constantly going in a circle. And so try not to participate in it, because if you do, it might get you by initially, but it's not helping the country. You're not doing your part. That being said, sometimes it is impossible to avoid it. It is flat out impossible. There is no way around it, and you got to pay somebody to get something done, unfortunately. And I don't like doing it, but I've done it. I'm not going to lie. That being said, it's usually in sectors, different sectors. Real estate sector is is a lot of corruption in that. And that's one of the reasons we chose not to go with Mombasa, because the corruption in real estate was too great for us. It's a little bit too much. It's less. There's less of that in Zanzibar. But that being said, it's not. It's only corruption in that. I guess you can participate in corruption if it's not on the negative. Like there's a negative sum gain. In other words, one person is getting something and the other person is getting nothing. The way people do it in Africa a lot of times, and I've been in a lot of countries in Africa, and it works the same every country, is that somebody is not going to do what they're supposed to do, because they know that if you give them money, you need them to do it, and you will give them money if they do it. So you can either say, I'm not going to give you the money at all, and it's not going to get done, or you can give them the money, and then they'll do what they were supposed to do in the first place. But you're not saying, I'm going to give you money to do something that you're not supposed to do. That I don't do at all. And if that's what it takes, I'll find another way around it, because that's one thing in Africa. You can always find another way to get something done for the most part. The question is, are you willing to go through the process of doing all that? And is it worth it to you?
Awesome, bro. Awesome. So, brother, now, in terms of expenses, brother, right? Now, and profit. Now, obviously, brother, if you can't disclose this, it's cool. But give us an idea here in terms of, if possible, how much profit you make a month and how much your expenses are on a monthly basis, if it's possible, if you can disclose that, bro. If not, it's cool.
I can't disclose how much we make or how much expenses we have, but I can tell you this. Right now, we have almost no expenses right now. Because if we did this in the U.S., I'll tell you what our expenses would be. Our expenses would be a mortgage for the property. The property is going to be about $2 million, right there. Your mortgage is going to be your biggest expense. Then you're going to have to pay for all the taxes that you're going to have in the States, which is another big expense. Then you're gonna have to pay for all of the human labor, right? People who actually work for you, because you can't. This is something you cannot do without a lot of people in the U.S. You have to have manpower to do this, and then you're gonna pay for services, lights, gas, electricity, and you name it, all the utilities and so forth. And that's just the absolute base amount that you're going to be paying, which is going to amount to a few $1,000s every month. We have in none of that in Zanzibar, because we don't have to do that, right? We have almost no overhead right now, and so. That being said, we also don't have a lot of guests yet right now. We have guests every month and all of that, but it's nowhere near full capacity. But it's growing and growing every single month. At some point, a projected point, it'll be full capacity, and which means that the amount of revenue that we're going to make, that's going to turn to net profit. In the U.S., you'd be happy if you got a net of 10% income. We might get 300% income easily, or more. And that's only because we don't have to worry about this massive overhead. And that's everywhere in Africa. We don't, like I said before, there is no mortgage there. You just get your property and you own it. There is no property taxes that like we have here in the States, or probably UK. I don't know how UK is, but definitely in the States, we don't have it like that. It's not like that in Africa, because the revenue that's generated from property taxes is supposed to go to services that the city or the state or the county or what have you does, like maintaining the roads or sewerage or this or that. Well, they don't maintain the roads. They don't. We have our own sewerage, so we don't have to worry about them charging for us for something that they don't do. Not only that, but we get U.S. money. Our money comes from U.S. Western money. It's coming from the West. It's not coming from local at all. Well, I would say maybe, I don't know, 5%. Every now and then we'll get a local person. I'm surprised that it's that right now. It may be more in the future because we would like more local guests to come, but right now it's not. It's from international, like 95%. So we don't have those overheads, and because we don't have those overheads, it's all income.
Awesome, bro. Fantastic. Doc, I'm very happy to see what you've done here, and I definitely want to see more Black men doing what you're doing. I think Africa is definitely a continent that, when there's opportunities there, right? If you know what you're doing, and you've definitely taken a huge leap of faith, and you've taken advantage of the opportunity. I'd rather it be Black American men, Western Black men, English Black men, Canadian Black men, than other groups of people who are doing business, right, with, of course, bro, Africans, and having a foothold there. So, in your opinion, Doc, right, how can more Black men do what you do? And is that even possible?
It is highly possible. It is much more possible than you think. The good part about it is we have the internet. This would not be possible without the internet, because you need to know what you get into before you get into it. And you just Google it. Whatever it is you want to do, you say, well, what about this country? I want to go to this country. We just Google it, YouTube it. There's a million people out there who will tell you whatever you need to know by internet. You do your due diligence by internet, step one. But you have to know that in Africa, the opportunities are so great. I would not be able to do this in the United States whatsoever. It's not possible whatsoever. All the opportunities, let's say I wanted to do in Miami, this what we've done, it can be done in Miami, right? What Miami is the ocean is there, sand, beach, palm trees, all that. It's beautiful. Weather, you name it. But someone is already doing it there, right? Not just someone, everybody is already doing it. It's saturated completely. And the cost of doing it is through the roof. Plus, like I said, you're going to have to pay constant overhead that you cannot really afford. And that means you have to get a loan that if the business doesn't quickly pick up, then you're going to default on your loan. So it's just not possible. But it is possible in Africa because none of that really exists yet. It will eventually get to that point. But right now, it's like a building being built and you're on the ground floor. And if you get in that building right now, as that building builds and grows, you're going to go up and up and up. And you're going to be at the top floor while everybody else just now, begins to come into the building. Africa is for sure on the way up. There is no, you look at all the numbers, I can go into all that, but I can tell you right now, Africa is for sure the future. And if you get in right now before it's too late, you will rise right along with it. But the most important thing is anybody can do it. Anyone can do it. You don't have to have a lot of money. You just have to have some smarts, some due diligence. You have to actually do your work, do your work as far as learning what's going on, and then actually be strong enough in your mind to go ahead and do it, and not being too afraid, to allow your fear of the unknown to hold you back. Again, first do your do your due diligence, learn about whatever it is that you want to do. Let's say you want to open a jet ski rental company in Mombasa, Kenya. Just look up and see, are there any jet ski rental companies in Mombasa, Kenya? If there are, it's saturated, then look up something else or another location or whatever it is. If it's not, then you move on to the next step, which is go there, look around for yourself, see if it's conducive to what you're trying to do. That is extremely important because you can't get everything from the internet. You can only get the first phase, but you have to go there, look for yourself, see what's going on. And I can guarantee whatever company it is or business idea you have, it doesn't really exist well in Africa. And if it does, it's not a lot of competition. You being from the West, where you've seen whatever company it is, whatever business it is, you've seen how it works. You know the strategy, you know the technique and how to run it. You automatically you have an upper hand on everybody else there, automatically, because guaranteed they're figuring it out. You already know. You go there, institute everything that you know, you will instantly rise to the top. I can almost guarantee you will instantly rise to the top. You will be the go-to person in that field, in that area, because you don't have to figure it out as far as how to run that business. You already know because you've seen it many times. Because you're here in the West. Then once you implement it, this is the part that I feel strongly about, is that utilize that for the good of everybody around you. Because if you don't, you are like you would be like the invaders. You would be like the colonizers yourself. You're taking it all for yourself, and it won't work that way, because you will become a pariah and people will not like you, and you will be you will wish you never did that. So do the right thing and make sure that it's beneficial for everybody involved. But like I said, first things first, do your due diligence. Secondly, go there, look around. Thirdly, implement what you know, whatever knowledge that you already have. Don't be afraid to actually do it, because even if you failing there is not that difficult. Failing here is you wiped out, you're finished, because you have to put so much in it. It's very difficult to start over. You can start over there in Africa easily because you didn't have to invest your whole life into it. So yeah, it's definitely doable for anybody who really wants to. You have to really want to. Now, if you like the idea, but you're like, I don't really want to put a lot of effort into it. I just want it to come to me, and I want it to be easy, and I don't want to do a lot of work. Stay here in America. Stay in the UK. Stay in Australia, wherever you're at. Don't waste your time, because it's not going to work out for you. You're looking for the easy route, and it's not for you.
Wow, great breakdown, bro. So, bro, definitely want to get brothers to support. Are you? It's up to you, bro. Are you happy sharing your property with us on this stream, or you don't want to? It's up to you, bro. There's no.
Sure. It's the Zanzibar Beach House. Just Google it. You'll find it. The ZanzibarBeachHouse.com. You can go just Google it. It's on. You can. I think you can go on YouTube. You see the Zanzibar Beach House. It's on Instagram, the Zanzibar Beach House, TikTok, and all that stuff. Just the Zanzibar Beach House. You'll find it. The easiest way to find us, though, is to go to ZanzibarBeachHouse.com, and you'll see a ton of different ways that you can contact me. Just contact me one of those ways, our telephone number, email, and all that stuff. You will get me, because now everything goes directly to me. So I'm the one who who will answer those messages or calls or what have you.
Awesome, brother. So that is Zanzibar Beach House. So I just typed in the live stream chat, brother. So that's the Zanzibar Beach House, right? So if you're going to Zanzibar, then you know who to stay at. You know who to reach out to. Please reach out to Doc, because support the brother. We should be supporting each other. So if you're in Zanzibar anytime soon, Beach House. If you're in Zanzibar anytime soon, if you're in Tanzania, reach out to brother. It's even on Google. So I typed in Zanzibar Beach House, and I can clearly see it here on Google. It's the first. It's the first link, right? But you said you're on Booking.com, right?
Booking.com, Expedia.com, Airbnb.com, VRBO.com, the Zanzibar Beach House.com, hotels.com. We're on everywhere you look, you'll find us.
Fantastic, man. Brothers, make that trip there, please. So before you I open up the phone lines, Mr. Doc. Doc, let's go for another half an hour, bro. Do you want to get some water or some food? Do you need to take a break? Are you good, bro?
Let's go.
You good? Okay. Shout out to Jughead for the support. Big up to you, IP, and your guest, Mr. Doc. Just got back from Vancouver last week. Can't wait to go back next year. Hate the UK, bros. Good man, bro. Good man, bro. How are the Asian chicks there, bro? Did they treat you well? Shout out to Black Scorpion for the support. Much appreciated, bro. Thank you very much. Shout out to Jughead1 for the support. Brother Doc is a credit to black manhood. We need more black African men like him. Love and respect from the UK, Doc. Thank you, bro, for the support. Much appreciated, man. So let me open up the phone lines. If you have any questions about the brother's property or anything else, please call in. Please be respectful. Obviously, no swearing, no cursing, no N-word use, no sex talk. Keep it very PG, please, okay? And keep it on the live stream topic, okay? Like I mentioned, if you're in Zanzibar anytime soon, stay at the brother's spot, okay? And we definitely need more black men, right, doing what he's doing in Africa. Now, question to you, brother, right? The overall project, everything, the whole cost of everything, the whole project, was it over 6 figures? Was it over 100 grand? Yeah, give us a range, bro.
It was over, yes. It was definitely over 100 grand for sure, but it wasn't much more than 100 grand.
Okay, wow. That's a lot cheaper than doing that in the West. I'll tell you that.
Well, like I said, if we did it in Miami, it would cost at least $2 million, easy.
Facts, absolute facts. All right, brothers, call in. We'll give it 5-10 more minutes. But if you have to call in, if you have any questions for our guests, are you on a laptop or phone?
I'm on a laptop.
All right, bro. You know you can share your screen, right, and show us your property. If you want to,
figure out. I don't know how to do that though.
So
let me see. Let me see.
So if you bring up your website, right, on a new tab on your Chrome browser, and get back to the StreamYard platform.
Wait, say that again.
So basically, open up a new tab on Google Chrome, a new tab, right, and go on your website, beachhouse.com.
Oh, okay.
Let me know what you've done once you've done that.
Okay.
Is it up?
Yep.
Okay. Now go back to the StreamYard platform, please, where you see yourself, obviously, in the camera and all that stuff. Go back to it, please, on the other tab. Are you there?
Your tab, to your, yes.
Okay. Now, do you see a present button?
On StreamYard.
Yeah, that's fine, bro. So do you see presents at the bottom of the screen called, you can see mute, start cam, settings, you see presents? It should be at the bottom of your screen, presents.
Oh, I see. Yes, I see it. Okay, I click on that. Huh?
Click on there, please, and click on share screen,
Okay.
and click on the
Share
tab.
screen. Okay.
Yeah, choose a tab of your website, the tab, zanzibar.com, and it will share the screen for us. So share screen, click on share screen, and you should see
Okay.
the
Share screen.
number. Then choose the website from the
I think
Chrome
it's
tab.
moving slow. From the Chrome tab. Okay. Okay. Click on there.
It will come up soon. Hold on. Click on
It's a
share.
blank. It says. Okay. Oh, share. Okay. Yeah, it's kind of blank. Let's see. The share is blacked out. Is grayed out. And my screen, it says the name of it, but it doesn't say. It doesn't show it. It's blank.
Yeah, no, basically, so click on the tab, the Chrome tab, and then click on share, the blue. So click on whatever tab you want to share, and then click on share, the blue button at the bottom of your screen.
Okay. So yeah, it says share, but mine doesn't say. It's not blue. It's gray. Here, let me come out of here and cancel it and then do it again. Maybe that will work. Okay, share
Make sure,
screen.
brother, make sure you're on the same tab, yeah. So obviously you're on StreamYard. Don't open up a new browser, but on the browser you're on, a new tab. So do you know what a tab is? A tab?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
so the website is on a different tab. So don't do that.
but is it on the same browser? Is it on the same browser? So is it on tab
Yes.
two? So yeah, so you have the
Yes.
StreamYard
It's
website.
on the second tab.
Okay, that's fine, bro. So when you click on present, click on share screen. If you can't do it that way, click on window and just share the window of your whole screen. So Windows is a second
So
tab when you see share. You see window?
I see window, yes, but I don't see
Click on
my website. I
no,
see
that's fine,
StreamYard
bro.
website. Okay.
Click on StreamYard and share that.
Okay. Share that. Okay.
And then from there, you can then pick the second tab. Okay, so I'll
Click
bring
on the website. Okay.
yeah, click on the website, yeah. Yeah. Now we see it. Good man.
Okay. Can you see
So we're gonna
that?
show you. I see it. But you see it, brother. Now, brother, explain to us the property. Go for it, brother. How to book it. Get in contact. The floor is yours, bro.
Yeah. So this is our website. If you see these are pictures, just the home screen will just keep scrolling. I think it's like 4 or 5 pictures or something like that. Before these are shipping containers. If you see right there, these are literally 40-foot shipping containers. You can't tell, but it really is, and that we have porcelain tile cladded on the exterior, and we created the interior. This looks like a regular apartment. Let me click on photos and videos.
Your connection's
Wow,
pretty
it's
bad, bro.
moving really slow.
Your connection's pretty bad. Check your router. It's your connection, bro. I don't think it's mine.
Is it really slow? Can you? Link here.
Bro, check your router, yeah? He dropped off. That was a great stream so far, man. Flipping heck. We'll wait for him to come back on. Who's here, man? Press a one in the chat if you're here. Press a one. Press a one. Who is here? Who's here, man? Jughead. Who else is here, man? Press a one. Who's here? Okay, now he's back. Hold on. Mikhail. Sorry, Doc, I'm gonna bring you out. I'm gonna bring back on, bro.
Okay.
You back?
Okay.
Awesome,
yeah. Now
bro.
I don't know. I guess my router here is really bad because it's not. Once I open two windows, it gets slow.
Try again, but share your screen and try again.
Okay. All right. Okay. Let's see here. Share screen. Window. Click on there. Click on share. And then, oh, wait a minute. I got to open up my. Hold on a second. Yeah, this is really slow. Wow. IP.
You got it open? You got it open, bro?
Okay.
Bro, you got it open? Mayday. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Houston, do we have a problem? Damn. Okay, no, I don't think. All right, brother. Do you know where it is? Beach House, Zanzibar Beach House. I tried to get him to give us a tour, but so you can't. But I'll type the name of it again on the chat. Oh my goodness, bruv. The Zanzibar Beach House. So if you're in Tanzania anytime soon, bro, check it out, man. Oh, flipping heck, bro. Fucking. Not this year, man. No code. All right, bro. But I think it's when you share, it comes up. But bro, I think everyone knows where to find you, bro. I've shared your contacts. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I got my router here is not so good. So I guess once I open two windows, or it's too much.
Okay. So, brother, we got people in the chat saying they like what they see so far, checking out your website, etc., which is awesome. So, but obviously, this stream will be on the channel, so they can rewatch it, reach out to you, see the website, blah blah blah. So, Zanzibar Beach House, brothers, you know what it is.
The Zanzibar Beach. You gotta say the Zanzibar Beach House.
The Zanzibar Beach House. I typed in
Otherwise,
Zanzibar
it'll show somebody's beach house in Zanzibar.
The Zanzibar Beach House. Awesome. Make sure you put a D. Okay, I'll type in the chat. The Zanzibar Beach House. Fantastic. Awesome. no one's gonna call in. Is that it? You don't want to ask brother questions as to how he did it specifically, or but I'm sure if they will, they'll reach out to you directly. They have a contact now. So that's awesome,
Yeah,
bro.
you got my contact. You just go to the website and you can call me or email me or message me, or a lot of ways to do it.
Thank you, man. But do you know what would be perfect? Like if crypto does well or sensitive investments does well, they can put that crypto money into property abroad, and Africa maybe definitely one of it, bro. So I'm sure, brother, a lot of people will be reaching out to you in the next coming weeks and months. But do you charge for, to get the whole thing done? The network, the connection. Do you charge for that, bro?
Say it again.
Do you charge, right, for like guidance as to step-by-step process as to how to get it done in Zanzibar?
No, I won't charge. I don't mind doing that, helping the brother out at all. Just reach out. If I have information that I can give it to you, I'll give it to you free of charge, no problem.
Wow, amazing! Thank you, bro. That's fantastic, man. This is why the channel is here, to share, have a network of brothers to pass information on to each other. I got a caller in the background, bro. Can I bring him in?
Sure.
Remember bringing Jughead in the background. Jughead, give me a thumbs up, bro. Camera on. Is that okay? Okay, awesome, bro. What's going on, brother? How you doing, bro?
Yeah, brother. IP, brother Doc. Welcome to just a quick hello to the brother, and thank you for his service. I mean, with brothers like him are fantastic because he's shown a commitment to Africa that we need. So thank him for his service. And because Africa's the future. I always said, the BRICS nations and Africa, they're coming up, and we've got to invest in now because maybe in 10 years' time it may be too late because as America and Western countries declining, Africa and the BRICS are going to increase with their resources, the expertise of China, Asian nations, and the so-called Middle East. That's the future. The South and East are the future. So brother Doc's doing the right thing. He's smart, he's intelligent, and he's perceptive. A big up to him. That's what I'm going to say.
Facts. Absolute facts, bro.
Absolutely. You clearly have done your research. Definitely. If anyone does their research, they will realize without a shadow of a doubt, Africa is going to be the future. If you can get your foot in the door right now, it'll be in your best interest to do that, especially if you're African American, because what a fact is, if I were African, I was born and raised in Africa, and I saw another Black person coming there to help do anything in a positive way, I would be more receptive to him than anyone else, and vice versa. It just makes sense.
Yeah, but sorry.
Go on, bro.
Yeah, but with Doc, because you're intelligent and you're perceptive. Unfortunately, I apologize. Your reception you got in Africa, unfortunately, is all too common. I'm Nigerian background. I was born in the UK, but my family from Nigeria. So I've been there 5 times. I'm very well used to corruption over there. It's a shame because Nigeria's resources. Nigeria should be like Qatar on steroids. We should be over here, bro, in the UK suffering. Nigeria should be Singapore on steroids. If our besides resources, it should be a superpower, economically, militarily, and technologically. But it will come once you get good leadership that's visionary and has a long-term thinking. That's going to change. But yeah, I mean, bro, big up to you, and we need more like you. You know what I mean? Because Africa's the future. A young nation by 2050, our population will be 2.5 billion. With that population combined with our resources, expertise of Russia, China, Asian nation, which is joining BRICS by the bucketload. Right now, BRICS have got almost 60 nations attend them. Turkey and Thailand made applications last week or 3 days ago. So everyone's seeing the future. It's not just me saying it, bruv. I've got the receipts. Everyone's joining the BRICS. Everyone's applying to BRICS. And the East and the South. That's what the future is.
That's absolute
Facts.
facts. That's absolute facts. You've clearly been doing your research. I love to see that.
Yeah, that's all I do, brother. Travel and research. Bro, yeah, I was in Vancouver a couple weeks ago, and I think it would come. But I know Vancouver was the west, but it's only part of the west that I like. You know, I love it there, man. Yeah, but the best Canada's not the future anyway. The future is the south and the east. You know what I mean? And I'm also Asian chicks. I mean, they're too quite petite for me. I'm a big guy. I like Amazons, so. You know, I'm have to, you know, Asian man, I'm have to change my preference if I go to Asia. No, but I'm adaptable. You know, if it has happened, I'll do it.
Awesome, man, fantastic. All right, let's go on for the last 10 minutes. We'll end the stream. Once again, the Zanzibar Beach House. Please, if you're going to Tanzania anytime soon, please go there. Use your brother's property, or even if you know a friend that's going to Zanzibar in the future, please tell them to go use his property instead. Okay, let's make sure this is great. If you're also interested in doing what he's doing, you got some funds yourself, or you're coming into funds, please reach out to the brother, man. I think we should be, as Black men, investing more in Africa. So I think Doc here is doing a great service here. You know, with how he did things, and he can share that intel with brothers. And I'm sure we'll get him on the channel again for even an even deeper process to get this done, man. So we got some brothers in the chat saying that they're gonna go back again, and I'm sure they'll use your property, bro. They know how to find you. We've seen your website. We know the website itself, thezanzibarbeachhouse.com, and be expecting a lot of people reaching out to you and booking your services, bro, to stay there. Fantastic, man. This is great, bro. Fantastic. Super happy. Well done, Doc. And I'm happy. I'm happy with what you're doing.
Yeah.
No problem.
Appreciate it.
So big up, guys. I'm leaving. Guys, I'm leaving now. Have a good night, guys, and we'll talk soon.
Yo, take it easy, bro. Thank you very much. Sleep to you, bro. Awesome. All right, so we're down to our last 3 minutes. We're almost there at 2 hours. We're at 2 hours now. All right, let's go for closing statements. So, Mr. Doc, do you have any closing statement?
You know, I would just say that I've been in a lot of African countries. I've been in a lot of countries, period. But from what I see, yes, Africa is the future, but East Africa is, I think, is going to be the fastest in the race right now. From Kenya to Ethiopia to Rwanda to Tanzania. Those four for sure are. We're not even. I don't know a lot about South Africa because I haven't been there. But like I said, you can find me in the KRT, and that's Kenya, Rwanda, and Tanzania, because they're so close to each other. They have a lot of the same opportunities, and they're a little bit further ahead than most African countries as far as development is concerned. And so, if you're looking for a country in Africa to do business in right now, from what I can tell you, what I know, Kenya, especially Ethiopia, in a different way to some degree, but Ethiopia is moving super fast. Ethiopia, Kenya, Rwanda, and Tanzania, and especially within Ethiopia, you got Addis Ababa, you got Awassa, you got Bahir Dar. If you're looking for leisurely tourist activity, if you're looking at Rwanda, you're looking at Lake Kivu. There's a lot of opportunities there. If you're thinking about Kenya, and you're looking strictly for leisure tourism and so forth, beach, water, that sort of thing, ocean. You're looking at Mombasa. If you're thinking Tanzania, you're thinking Zanzibar, and you think in Dar es Salaam, because Dar es Salaam is right on the ocean also. There's tons of beaches in Dar es Salaam too. And plus, the mainland is, Dar es Salaam is like the Nairobi of, Nairobi is like the Kenya, the New York of Kenya, and Dar es Salaam is like the New York of Tanzania. They're very similar. Nairobi is probably a little bit more advanced in development, but Kenya is right behind them. And there's a lot of opportunities there. Again, you don't need a lot of money like you would need in the West at all. It's not even close. It's important to start. Number one, start by doing your due diligence. Look around, do your research online, Google it, whatever it is. Then reach out to contacts if you can find some. But the very next step is go there. You got to go there, put some boots on the ground, see with your own eyes. Even if you just go there for a few days, for a week, just to look around, touch some things, to see some things, and it'll make it more real in your mind. Once you do that, make connections while you're there. Everybody you speak to, that's a potential connection. Get their telephone numbers, get their contact information. Make it beneficial for both parties, you and them, for you guys to connect. Then we use them as a connection. You know, you want to reach someone, hey, call them up and say, hey, can you contact this other person? Can you go there to this individual place or specific place? Can you do certain things? I will pay you. Pay them what they're worth. Don't skimp on that. Make sure you pay people well, because it's the respectable thing to do. And you don't ever want to burn bridges. Then once you do that, create an action plan. Take action. Don't be afraid to fail in some points, because you're gonna have some losses. That's just the way business is. Accept those losses and learn from them and keep moving. That's pretty much it.
Wow.
The rest is all love. Everything is great after that.
Wow. Fantastic, bro. Fantastic. Before you go, Doc, right? Can I share your IG page on my screen?
Sure.
Is that okay? All right, hold on.
Yeah.
So let me see. I pull it up. So let me see. Share screen. Share screen. Share screen. Hold on. Yeah. Hold on. All right. So you can see here. Let me make sure nothing's up. Hold on, bro. Yeah, I think I'm good. Right. So share screen. Present. Share screen. Share screen. Okay. Cool. Okay. So you can see here, right? The Zanzibar Beach House, right? That's on IG. So go and search up and look at it. You can see here the properties here, right? So I don't want to play the sound because it's copyright music. So without any sound, so you can see inside. Look at that.
Yeah.
So what's here? Explain it to me, bro. What's this?
That's a bedroom. Going out into the hallway past the bathroom. Then you go out into there's a courtyard, a sandy beach courtyard, believe it or not, and it sits directly on the beach. That doesn't show the kitchen area. That particular video doesn't show the kitchen or the living room. Well, you can see a glimpse of the living room before he turned and walked out the door. But that's the Indian Ocean right there. As far as you can see is the ocean. And then to the left is just, as far as you can see, is ocean and sand. And to the right, as far as you can see, is ocean and sand.
It's beautiful, man. Flipping heck. Well done for building something like
that's
this.
That's inside the courtyard right there. What's that, IB?
Wow. No, well done for building something as beautiful as this. Very, very nice.
Oh, man. I love it when I'm there. I don't want to leave. Every time I'm there, I don't want to leave. It's almost different world, like it's coming from a different world. It's unreal.
Damn, yes. Ooh.
That's going into the kitchen and then the living room and then out on the deck. from the living room right out into the ocean. That's pretty much where you're at. You're literally right there.
Stunning.
That ocean shore in Zanzibar, like I said, every day the tide comes all the way in, all the way up to the edge of our property, and then it goes back out about a mile out. So you can walk out into the ocean for about a mile straight, and then it comes back. But you better come back before the water comes back, or you'll be swimming back.
Because
yeah, that is a container. What you see on those large ships that ship everything from cars to sofas to you name it. Whatever you get in the UK and here, it probably came over in one of those shipping containers. We just turned it into a 1-bedroom beach house.
Wow. Yeah, incredible. So now go on, bro.
Go ahead.
No, you go. Sorry.
No, I was just going to say, that right there, that red, that's what it really is, that red shipping container. That's what it originally was, and then we turned it into what you see.
Wow.
And that's again in the courtyard, right at the beach, right at the ocean.
So even with strong wind, right? Strong wind, the container house isn't going anywhere if it's like really strong wind. It's really strong, right?
Mm-hmm. No, it's not going right. Yeah. It's empty without anything on it. In it is like 5 tons. Not to mention everything that we've done to it, sticking it down there, nice and stable.
And the container is it really strong metal, like really powerful metal that you can't really dent it or break it?
No, you can't do anything. It's made out of cordon steel, which is designed to be on the ocean for months at a time. It is designed to withstand all the weather that you can imagine. It would come in contact with on the ocean, from the monsoon rains to hot sun baking down on it and so forth. And they're pretty much indestructible. They do rust, but the rust does not. It's designed to rust on the surface, so it's not a destructive rust. The rust actually is a protective mechanism because it rusts on top, and then the rust itself protects the under surface of the rust. But there's no rust on ours because ours is cladded, is covered with porcelain tile. It looks like it's marble, but it's not marble. It's porcelain tile with marble look.
Wow, amazing! All right, brothers, here's his IG page. The Zanzibar Beach House. There's the IG. Reach out to the brother. If you're in Tanzania anytime soon in the future, you got a link. You got to connect. Use his brother's property to stay in Zanzibar. Okay, please do so. Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Doc, thank you very much, bro, for your time.
It was my pleasure.
We'll keep in touch, Doc. And thank you, brother.
Absolutely.
Awesome. All right, brothers. Hope you've enjoyed the live stream. Hope it was very, very informative. If you want to come on the channel yourself, reach out to me directly, please. Okay, on IG. Join my Patreon. Please support what I do. Hit the PayPal, hit the super chats. It is 3 a.m. over here in the UK. It's not easy streaming this late. It's not easy that I've been doing this for almost 10 years now, trying to inspire Black men, change the lives of Black men, uplift Black men. I think I've done a good job. I'm not perfect, but I think I've done a good job in terms of me teaching brothers Python, consultations, the channel, inspiring brothers to travel and get their passports, get out the matrix. I'm doing what I can. So if you want to donate to the channel and support what I do, PayPal is open 24/7. Hit the super chats or join the Patreon or cop a t-shirt, cop a hoodie. That'd be greatly appreciated. Okay, Doc, thank you so very much, bro. I wish you major success in your business and your journey. And I want to see more properties all throughout Africa with what you're doing, bro. And yeah, bro, keep your head up, okay?
It was my pleasure, and I wish you all the best also. You're doing a great job with what you're doing. I really respect what you're doing.
Awesome. Thank you, Doc. Brothers, look after yourselves and peace out.